Yeah, man.
Basically, our topic is what's our end game? What is our accomplishment? What are we planning on accomplish out of us knowing who we are and getting it out to the people? What are our plans to help the people?
Liberation. That's the end goal.
Yeah, that's a big topic. Right. Liberation.
Because you can hit all different factors on it. I mean, economically, spiritually, physically, mentally, educationally, institutionally. We get so many different avenues and aspects of it that we could cover. I mean, the conversation is, it's among us, but it's like stop the dialogue, get stuff done. I mean, that's what it should lead to. That's what it should lead to. I mean, I do see, a lot of people getting things done. And of course, I'm getting things done behind the scenes. And I don't like to put business out in the forefront like that when I know it's for the liberation of our people. But broadcasting it, that's what the older leaders were making a mistake of. And of course, they were infiltrated by certain people in the government. I'm not trying to make that mistake. And I don't think we should revisit that same mistake that we did in the past. And like you guys were mentioning the Black Panthers, the only thing that stopped the Black Panthers was the government. Exactly. The government was jealous of what they were doing and wanted to stop them. And as a matter of fact, they were killing the majority of the Black Panthers. And then they got to the leaders, locking them up left and right and here and there. I mean, but they were, in a way, inadvertently, they were doing it to themselves. And I'll tell you why, because they were broadcasting their positions and what their agenda is and what their ideas are. And that doesn't have to be public information. You don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. I think that's the main mistakes that they were making. And then, of course, you could look at that all the way down the line. Martin Luther King was saying that he was going to march down in Washington. And guess what? 3 days before that could happen, they got rid of him. Why? Because he announced publicly what he was going to do. They knew what Malcolm X was, but Malcolm X still announced that he was going to go to New York. And guess what? And that was his last place. And and that goes on down the list. Noble Drew goes on down the list.
Yeah, but it depends on.
Hold on, Rob.
Yeah, I think it depends on the position. So in their position, they positioned themselves as being the spokesman for the leader of liberation against the oppressors wherever the hell they at. So once you put yourself on that stage, that's a problem. They don't. They didn't care about the religious niggas because all you doing is talking some bullshit. You doing a little shit. No,
civics and religion wasn't there. Yeah, that was earlier. But when you start liberation, then it's a totally different topic.
Whenever you get the people to get behind you, that's the first rule of guerrilla warfare.
Correct. They don't like that.
People behind you and you providing the exact needs that they need, that is a problem.
Right.
So they're like,
and they will come after you for that.
Then they were like, all right.
But that shouldn't make us scared. That shouldn't make us stop.
Yeah, but look what happened now. Look what happened. They killed our ability to organize. We failed because we can't organize. I wouldn't say permanently. I mean, it could still happen. I mean, it's just a temporary thing, just like they know their regime will be temporary. It's the reason why they're preparing. They're preparing for something where free thinkers will come together regardless of their hue of complexion and start taking things back over. They're afraid of that. That's the reason why they throw all of our people inside of their compulsory public educational institutions. They got to subsidize your mindset first. And then you're subjugated to their rules and regulations right up under that. And then you think and then people would think it's reality based off of the perception they were indoctrinated with from the get-go. That's the problem. That's the reason why it's good for us to know about our history so we could correct those problems and mistakes that happened at that time now. So we can have a better future.
Right. And if they would have proper communications, you know what I'm saying, amongst themselves, they probably would have done a little bit more. You see what I'm saying? But
I don't think they knew.
I don't think communication is the problem. Communication wasn't the problem.
They didn't know.
Well, if they would have had it, you see what I'm saying? If they would have had communications amongst each other like the way we did, man, they would have, you know what I'm saying? You got people with 100,000 subscribers, then you got like 1 million subscribers. Now, could you imagine them dudes with 1 million subscribers, what they'll be like?
Yeah, but
they didn't have the communications to the people and to the nation like we do. We have communications to the whole planet.
Wait, but who were you referring to? Because Malcolm X was reaching millions. Martin Luther King was reaching millions.
Right. Now just imagine if he would have had YouTube. What it would have been like.
That is YouTube. That's just YouTube and, just off of a social aspect of it.
Right. So it would add up their numbers. It would.
You using 2019 technology and you can't do that.
I can't do? I'm living that though. I'm transferring it into how we live it.
Yeah, right.
So, for example, you hear a
now,
lot of people talk about, okay, well, they taking over our music and they doing this to our music. All we have to do is change the goddamn frequency and just have our own frequency, and then we can put all the music we want on it. And if you want to listen to our music, you gotta go to our frequency. But
then you have people who try to do that. You have your Jay-Z's, you have your Tidal, it's bigger than that. So yes, it goes into indoctrination where we become consumers and we're just happy with whatever. They taught us to not think as a whole. They taught us to think of as individuals. So whatever you do individually, fuck everybody else. This is how everybody thinks, bro.
That's why it's so easy to pay off somebody and say, hey, for a couple of $1 million, I want you to go ahead and turn your back on your own friend. I want you to turn your back on your own community. That's what happened. A lot of people were just, either money hungry, low self-esteem. It could be a lot of things, that equaled out to what their ultimate decision was. Or it could have been just like how our brothers and sisters, or some of our brothers are now. They're in the street hustling just because they got to put food on the table, clothes on their kids' back. They got to do what they got to do. And that's how we can look at it. But if we provide them with a better choice of opportunity, then that would change it. That would change it. But this is the reason why they spend billions of dollars on social engineering in order to make the narrative one way so everybody can subscribe to that. Like racism is the biggest thing. White supremacy, that's another thing. They want everybody to subscribe to these titles and what this means, what that means, what happened and what happened, so people can be distracted from actually creating a solution to all of these problems. That's been happening for decades. When is it going to change? When everybody want to change. That's when it's going to change. When people getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's when it's going to change.
Yeah, the foot got
you gotta do something. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the black man dying." All right, go do something. Go do something about it. And we don't necessarily got to follow the rules and regulations that they laid out for us, because it wasn't for us from the get go. As far as the government is concerned, that's not designed to have our back. They saying that this is we the people, and you got to look at how they did these laws of the lands in order to understand what their agenda is. And it's still ongoing that same way today. Like a white person would think right now that they don't have a certain type of privilege. But as they should, because based off of how society is designed that way for them to think that way today. But if we take a look at the historical records of their individual family members, we will see how they benefited from their grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers and great-great-great, all the way down the list, ever since they came here off of a boat. We'll find out what happened. But that's the reason why they try to make it confusing for where you are or where you came from. They want you to throw your mind off of America to keep your mind on Africa. And that's a tactic done. That's the same as a part of their indoctrination process. They put these Germans and Jews in front of you and said, here, they know your history. And they are not even from these lands. They're foreigners. And they're telling you where you came from. And that's not how it should be. Yeah, that's not how it should be.
That's the part where we are different at as far as that. I believe that it's more simple and it's not complex like that. I don't believe that has anything to do with it. The ability for
what you were referring to? I stated a lot. I don't know where you're coming from.
Just the end part. Everything else, I was agreement to the end part. When you say they want to teach the people that they came from Africa, and that's to keep people distracted. That doesn't keep people distracted. what keeps the people distracted is the stuff
if
that
you
they
think
put.
that you came from Africa, you're an immigrant.
Let me get this point off. What gets the what makes the people distracted is the illusion,
indoctrination,
the illusion of what you would call the American dream, and this is what we all chased. So when you look at
and who created that American dream?
Just from the white man, just from the 90s, the people who got the country, just from the 90s.
And where did they say that your people came from?
Where did what people came from?
Your own people. Where did those same people that created the American dream say that your people came from?
I know what my people came from. I know what my people told me where they came from. I know what that does. I know what the historical.
So who are the people that told your people where they came from?
No one told my people where they came from.
No one told your people.
No,
okay.
I'm going off for what my grandmother did. My grandmother practiced Santeria. My grandmother knew about Yoruba. My grandfather is part of Native American. He's from Bahamas. I got my history from them. So, and then I went further past that.
Native American?
Yes, I'm not going to get into the debate as far as the tribe, and I'm not doing that. So, I'm just using that as a colloquial term because we're having this conversation. What distracts the people from us moving forward is what was put in front of us. So what was put in front of us was drugs. What was put in front of us is the manipulation of our music. So it's not cool to sound smart. It's not cool to be a doctor. It's not cool to be
I could agree with that.
It's cool to be a thug nigga. This is what you're supposed to be. So
but before they put those things in front of you socially.
Brother, when you travel out this country, when you travel out of here, I'm like 6'5". So I'm always, you a basketball player or you're a rapper, you a rapper because of how I'm
Stereotypes are created.
I'm like, damn, but this is across the water, bro.
That's not everywhere. I do travel. That's not everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm talking about out the country. So
out the country, yeah.
Right, not in the
That's
country.
Not everywhere out the country.
Not in the States. The places that I've been, this is the questions that I'm asked because of my
passport is stamped up.
Yeah, so when you get that, they'll see that. And when they start hearing you talk, they know where you from. They be like, you from America.
And they respect it. And they honestly feel as though they want to be here.
Yeah, we know that.
Everywhere I turn, that's what they go, well, how was America? How's the weather? Yeah. Man, I want to go there so bad, and I want to visit you guys. You guys are so nice. I love your sports. That's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so
everybody has a different narrative.
Yeah, they have a different narrative, but at the end of the day, it's shaped through media. All right, that's
before media. Outside. What was the shape through?
What do you mean before media?
Before media was created, what was the shape through? The narrative that our people are accustomed to.
The narrative of the people of Black people is always been in that. So, for instance, right?
Wait, no. Wait. You didn't answer the question. Listen to me. Mm-hmm. I'm about to, because I'm going to give you the answer. Before media came, it was called colonial documentation.
No, you went.
Yes,
you went.
I'm going further backwards.
Yeah, okay,
I'm telling you where it happened. Okay, where the mistakes happened. What was documented.
Okay,
what was told to our people.
Let's go further.
Our people right now think that slavery begins our history.
No, slavery does not begin our history.
It does not.
Let's go. Let's go back. Let's take.
They thinking slavery began our history here in America, in North America, and it does not.
All right, let's back up. So before this media age in the 1800s, right, the first Black entertainment was Jim Crow. Jim Crow was the first American so-called rock star. That's dealing with your blackface. The shit that you still see today popping up all over the place, all out of the blue. People think this just started.
Before Jim Crow, there was radio.
No, we got to get back there, bro. We walking back.
Before Jim Crow, there was radio. Go further back.
No, you're not going back. There was radios in the 1800s.
There were radios in the 1800s. How you think they communicated during the wars?
No, in the 1800s there were radios.
Yes. How do you think they communicated during the wars?
What war?
Matter of fact, the Civil War was in the 1800s. How you think they communicated?
The Civil War was in what's the name? So let's get this right so we can get this correct.
All right.
So, origin of radio, right? So, radio in 1800s. We just do a quick search here. Radio in 1800s. So,
relying on Google.
Nah, we ain't lying on Google. Nah, we gotta just to get it, because we know they had minstrel shows. We know they had that, right? So you could
before TV there was radio.
Yes, before TV there was radio.
So you saying that this was the first show that was ever shown?
No, I'm telling you, the first entertainment in American culture is the laughing of black people in minstrel shows.
They were doing that through songs first before shows were created. They were called folk tales.
No, they were called coon songs.
Before any shows, they were called folk songs.
Brother,
you ever heard of "I've Been Working on the Railroad"?
Yes, those.
Do you know the original?
Yes. No, I don't know the original. I don't remember off the top of my head. What I'm saying is this, right? I'm speaking about our experience and how this shapes the society that we're in. The first American entertainment and first rock star is Jim Crow, and this is dealing with blackface. So the blackface people were originally the Irish people. Those were the people they used to make fun of. Then it switched to us. And we became the talk. The first gangster music that speaks about us living in Tompkins Street, Sullivan Street, and all these streets have pictures of us running around with razors, gamblers, alcoholics. You fast forward 200 years, we have accepted what they told us what we were. We were not that. That was what they used to try to get the people scared, because they was afraid of the changes that was happening in each state, because slavery was being gradually emancipated. So now
what they were trying to do was stop the people from rebelling. They were trying to stop the revolts. But that was before they started creating television shows, and what they did.
But that's later.
What they did to manipulate the minds to subsidize the revolts from occurring was paper genocide. They gave these stories, like Nat Turner, for example, to make it seem as if it was one way when it was another. It wasn't that many white folks in America in order for them to win these wars by themselves.
I don't think paper genocide neither. So I just have to go backwards because I want to stay on the timeline. I don't want to jump around. So when dealing with those first coon songs and those specific songs and those minstrel shows, that forms a genre of music, a genre of culture, which enters the minds of these specific white people as well as black people, right? So now, when you go past that, when you start to get to the 1800s...
Before they even begin to listen to music, they get indoctrinated through school at a young age.
What, the Europeans got indoctrinated in school in a young age?
All of us got indoctrinated. All of us.
Okay, hold on, brother, slow down. So you keep talking about this indoctrination thing.
Yeah, you know what that is?
You're hooked on this.
Hooked on what? What are you talking about?
Let's build.
I'm stating facts.
No. What you're trying to do is you're trying to...
I'm not trying anything. I'm stating facts.
Let me build, brother. I'll let you talk. Let's just have this conversation. You're trying to make it appear as that the people...
I'm not trying to do anything. So you're making an assumption.
No,
you're not going to sit here and make an assumption.
Brother, I'm
not trying anything. I'm stating facts. Stop saying that.
I'm going to go up with what you said.
Okay.
Your opinion is that
that's not that wasn't my opinion. I just gave you a fact.
Yo, my brother, you gonna let me build?
Everybody got indoctrinated. It was only a small percent that were educated with the liberal education. That was out of Woodrow Wilson's mouth. Top of 1900s.
You gotta let me.
That's when they created compulsory public educational institutions.
So
this is how you think you came from Africa.
Wait a minute. So what is the free African school in the 1800s? This is not 1900s.
What about it? You talking about a religion now? Come on.
No, we're not talking about a religion. You talking about the manumission
society.
The
Free African Society has nothing to do with education.
I didn't say Free African Society. I said Free African School. That's what I told you.
You said what?
No,
Free African what?
It's called the Free African School.
How many was there?
And they had stop. The Free African School had the meeting and out came what?
Out came what? What do you mean?
What did they do at the Free African School? And what did it accumulate to?
I'm going to tell you what it accumulated to. The Free African School and that specific school.
I already know it. But this ain't got nothing to do with my point. The whole point is that they're unrelated to education, which you're about to mention, has nothing to do with anything.
What do you mean it doesn't have anything to do with anything?
What I was trying to tell you was you and your ancestors were and so are mine, have been indoctrinated with their process that they created called compulsory public educational institutions. There were multiple groups that got together and created everything that you are accustomed with of knowing who your people are. Our people, all people, not even just our people, all people that were not of that 1% got taught the exact same thing. There were only a set group of people that got taught the liberal education. They know the truth. They know what's going on. They know the documents of doctrine of discovery. All of those land acts. They know what's going on. They know exactly who that first Congress signed those treaties with. They know what they called our people. It's all documented. The point is that you can know who your people were too by looking at what was documented individually of your family members. Genealogy is something that is very important. You can't take a genealogy DNA test and expect that to be the truth without supporting documentation to follow with it. Documents have to follow what that DNA test is telling you. You can't just base it off of some stranger telling you what it is. That's just like you basing it off of the teacher who is a stranger telling you what it is. You don't know where that information arises from. The point is to go back and find out where it came from and then see if it's true or not. Not based off of your perception, but based off of the truth.
All right, so based off of what you said, right? I brought up the Free African School. It seems like you didn't really want to get into that, right? So when I brought up a person named Newport Gardner, right? So this is 1700s. He forms the African Union Society. Union, not the other thing by Richard. This is totally different. This person is directly from West Africa. The people in the area which is called New England. I brought this up earlier. We have their names. Their names are all West African. They all dealing with Kwame, dealing with this, etc. Right? So when I deal with this and I'm listening to what you're saying, I brought up earlier something called the Negro Color Convention. These conventions deal with every single free black person in America. And their specific agenda is dealing with the liberation and how to succeed or move out of America or stay in America to deal with our Pacific problems. Within all of these documents, they speak about themselves of coming from the homeland. They say they come from the homeland of Africa. They come from this specific place, etc. We are here now. We've been away from generations. We're going to stay here. We're going to fight. When I look at Prince Hall, he makes the Boston Plan. And his plan is the first plan to say that he would like to return back to Africa, to the people where our people have come from. When we look at his son, which is Pyrrhus, he has the first school that is independent. That's him. That's his school. So there's numerous people who teach upon their heritage and
what's
where
your
they
name?
come from. My name is Rah Born.
Rah Born. When is the last time or first time you ever did a search on your own family? That's my point. You see my point?
No.
Versus you. No, listen. Hear me out. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Real quick. You were telling me about some specific people, not all people. You were telling me specifics, right?
Yes.
You were breaking them down in which, to the individual standpoint of that person, right?
Uh-huh.
Why can't you do the same for yourself?
I can. Now you ready for my
Have you?
Yes, I have. Now
you have?
Are you ready for it? Yes. Are you ready for it?
No. You don't got to prove that to me.
No, I don't want to prove it.
You don't got to prove that to me.
This is an important thing because you keep harping on this, right? When you deal with people that's from the North, that grew up in the North and not in the South is more family orientated, right, than the North. The North is not like that. So I grew up in the crack era. I'm a victim of the crack era. I don't know who my father is. I know who my mother is. I know who my grandmother is. I know who my great.
But you know who knows who your father is?
No, I got this.
I'm about to tell you. The National Archives.
No, the National.
You know why? Because everything was documented.
Okay, so let me.
Did your father sign your birth certificate?
Let me break this down to you, my brother.
I'm trying to help.
No,
did your father sign your birth certificate?
No,
he didn't.
No.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 100% sure, and I don't even
because you know you can. But regardless of You go into vital statistics. Hear me out. You don't have to go to the vital statistics building and they hand you that receipt. You literally could get a real copy, or you can buy the original of your birth certificate and find out and see if he signed it or not.
I have both of them. I have 2 birth certificates in my house.
How old are they?
One is from probably, the last one I got was from 2012. That's the last
They
one.
change it after a while. You don't want to get your original.
Yo, brother, I got what you're saying, but when you want to do genealogy, it's good to know both sides, so now you can connect.
There's nothing wrong with knowing both sides. Right?
Yeah, you need to know that.
You definitely need to know that.
That's how you find out who you are. So if I'm dealing with my grandmother's side, I know who her father, I know who her family is, and I know who my grandfather's family is, and I know who my great grandmother is, and my great great grandmother. That woman is Irish. She's not black. She's not African. She's not Indian. She's an Irish woman. So I got an Irish woman in my fucking family, and that they married each other. So when I talk to my grandmother, they coming from the South, as most people did to the North. This was all broken down to me. She broke this down. The same thing as my grandfather. So those people deal with the Gullah, and they deal with the Gullah Geechee. This is the part from my grandfather's side. So now when I got to talking to him about my history, he starts speaking about, he don't even look like me. His hair, his texture is different. He looked like he mixed up with some shit. So I'm like, yo, why you look like, who are you? Well, we the Gullah. We have the Gullah. I'm like, what's that? So now that I'm older and I'm in depth in the history, I look up who the Gullah people are. And when I find out who the Gullah people are, I see all of the African words in their thing. I see the queen of their Pacific thing of right now of who that queen is. And they don't deny the African admixture. They don't teach that they always been here. They don't teach that they've been indoctrinated. They don't teach that because they was kind of separate, if you know that Pacific history of those people. So when you ask who my genealogy is, that's
it depends on what area you're referring to.
Yeah, because my grandfather from the Bahamas, right? And they moved down to South Carolina. So from that point, I know from that point who those people are that's over there. So I even looked at
that's not all of South Carolina, by the way.
We know that's not all of it,
okay.
But the Gullah stretch all the way going down to the north. They all around there. But the point is, they have a heavy African influx in there because of the language, because of the words being there, and their actual history of what they say. They don't say that they was indoctrinated. They don't say none of that. They bear witness that they amalgamated with some of the original tribes that was there, but they bear witness to their African heritage. So when you ask me who I am, that's who I am. So I like the conversation as far as some of the points you brought up. I just don't agree.
African heritage from where?
African heritage from West Africa. If you want to look up the
where in West Africa?
That. Some of them say they come from the Gola people, and that's dealing with in the Pacific.
The Angola people?
No, Gola. You know where Gola
No,
is
where's that located?
So Gola is a Pacific African tribe, and that's dealing with
where they're located. I know that area very well.
Okay, so you know the Gola is close to by Sierra Leone.
Where by Sierra Leone?
They don't have the exact exact locate. They don't do it that way. They don't
brother, just be careful. Okay, I'm gonna let that one go. Just be careful.
I'll
let it go.
Yeah.
No, I'll let it go. I mean, because apparently you don't know, and I can sense that. But I'm not trying to make fun of you, and we're during this live stream. I'm not trying to do any of that. I don't want you to take it that way. But if you're unfamiliar with something, that's fine to be unfamiliar with it. The point is to know about it versus you making assumptions. That's my whole point. If you have the documents, and those documents did exist in the islands as well, they're all Indians.
That's cool. So are you telling me that the Gola people and where they say they come from,
some of them will say African because they get a misconception. Okay, but that depends on what part you're talking about. That's some of the Geechee are Louisiana as well.
I'm gonna look for this from you because we understand, right, the heavy African influence because of the African words in their language.
Brother, the problem is that there was no heavy influence inside of North America because the majority that they said that they captured went where? South America.
Yeah, most people went to South America. That's a fact.
Okay, so what heavy African influence here? What are you talking about?
When you Look up the GOAT when we deal with the GOAT.
I know who they are.
That's what I'm talking about. So
and I'm saying that there was no heavy African influence here when there was not that many Africans here.
Okay, so explain to me the over 100 West African words that's in their language and their culture. Why?
What does that have to do with anything?
That shows lineage. And
there's a lot of things that we share as far as similarities are concerned, but that doesn't mean that person's African.
Okay, so now you denying they have West African roots.
Of course.
Okay, so
you know why? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, let me explain it. Let me explain it. The reason why is because West Africa, all of those lands were unoccupied before the French got there. Guess who they moved? Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Let me finish. Those lands, Angola, Congo, with the K, not the one with the C, that was right beside the water. And before they named it Sierra Leone, all of those lands were unoccupied. That's documented. Not only is it documented in the National Archives here, that's documented in the National Archives of Paris. Look this up, because they were the ones that owned the land. Keep in mind that the U.S. bought the land from the French in order to have West Africa, correct?
There was no U.S. in the 1300s and the 1400s and the.
We're not talking. No.
Yes, because I'm going with.
Listen. You're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. Listen to me closely. Listen to me. You're making a huge mistake,
my brother.
The Spanish. Listen to me. I'm about to tell you when it happened. Let me tell you when it happened, because then you can pull these records up.
Go ahead. And
first of all, America is not even 200. Matter of fact, North America is 243 years old at this exact date. It's 243 years old. That wipes away the 400 years of slavery all the way clean. America wasn't even existing then.
Go ahead.
The first colony wasn't established until 1627, not 1607.
Go ahead.
1607 is when they first started coming here. And not in large numbers. They started coming here in large numbers at the top of the 1800s. That's documented. I mean, even the U.S. Census has that. They also have documented who they purchased lands on the coast of Africa from. As a matter of fact, they called it with 2 Ks because they were getting it from the white Afrikaners at that time. The white Afrikaners are nothing but Dutch people that created a similar organization to the Native American Party that came here later. That's where that term Native American came from. The know-nothings. These are the exact same people. What they did in West and South Africa is the same thing they did here. What you have to do is look at their records to see exactly what they did. In order to connect the dots, you got to trace them.
Okay,
the U.S. did not own Africa, West Africa lands. That was the French.